Right there guys, welcome back to the channel. This is another Let's Talk video. I'm going to be touching on Paul Joyce, David Ornstein and James Pearce today, as they've been talking about Thiago, Thuram, Lavia and Nat Phillips today. The Nat Phillips one could potentially tie into an exchange, but I'll cover that when I get to it. So, first off, let's start off with the first one I've got loaded up, which is the Paul Joyce article in the Times in regards to Thiago. So it says here, Saudi clubs circling with Thiago's Liverpool future in doubt. Thiago is attracting interest from foreign clubs, including those in Saudi Arabia, though Liverpool have yet to receive an official bid for the midfielder. The Spanish international has a year left on his contract and is scheduled to return to club training when pre-season starts this weekend. Thiago missed the end of last season due to the latest in a series of injuries that have hindered his impact at Anfield since his arrival from Bayern Munich in 2020. While there is no definitive bid for the player, there is no decision to be made, but Klopp, the Liverpool manager, has always said that if a player asks to leave early enough in the transfer window, the situation will be considered. Now, I've read both these articles already, guys, so that one there, bear that in mind, how Joyce has worded that there, and when we get touch on the next one. Liverpool have strengthened in midfield with the signings of McAllister and Szoboszlai for a combined 95 million. And Klopp can also call upon Henderson, Fabinho, Jones, Elliott and Bajcetic in that position, while Trent was utilised in a hybrid right-back midfielder towards the end of the season. The club are also weighing up whether to make an approach for 19-year-old defensive midfielder Romeo Lavia. And then it's just touching a few things there about how City have got a buyback clause for 40 million which can be triggered next year. But they're not looking at the Belgium international who has earned his first cap in March. Arsenal are also interested in Lavia, as are Chelsea. Now, let's just go over to the Athletic version of this just so we can touch on the differences here and what I think it might mean. So, this one's written by Pearce and Ornstein. Thiago is a subject of serious interest from Saudi Arabia, with the Liverpool midfielder having already rejected one offer. The Spanish international features highly on the Saudi Pro League's list of elite targets after entering the final year of his contract at Anfield. Liverpool have received no bids for him so far, with approaches being made directly to the player's camp. Thiago recently turned down one formal offer from a Saudi club and is focused on returning to pre-season training at Kirby this weekend. The 32-year-old currently intends to stay put for the season, but it remains to be seen whether an improved offer leads to a change of heart in the coming weeks. Now, hold on, this next bit. If Thiago indicates he wants to pursue a transfer, then Liverpool will have a decision to make. But as things stands, Klopp is planning for the campaign ahead with him on board, and Liverpool would be happy for him to see out the final year of his contract and leave on as a free agent. That last bit there is annoying, guys. Like, that would make it the sixth player, I think, that Liverpool had lost on a free transfer in the past, 3 years. It's disgusting, especially when you look at the amount of money that was spent on all these players, like, Ronaldo, Keita, Thiago, Firmino, Ox. You're looking at nearly probably 200 million in total if you look at all the transfer fees. It's not how a well-run club should do their business. Now, the differences I want to point out here is that Pearce and Ornstein say that Klopp is planning for the campaign ahead with him on board, and that they'd have to make a decision basically if Thiago turns around and said he wanted to go. Whereas Joyce, I'm trying to find the paragraph again. There you go. That Klopp has always said that if a player asks to leave early enough in the window, the situation will be considered. So basically, Joyce is leaving the window open, whereas Ornstein and Pearce are basically going, they'll make a decision. I honestly think, guys, if you look at the Athletic article and how they've worded it, that he's turned down a contract already. This is all about negotiations. I think he's probably being offered a wage that he's not too happy with. And if another offer came in that he felt was more in place with how he thinks he is, like how he sees himself as a player despite his injuries, then I think he'll go. And for me, guys, as much as I like Thiago, I've liked Thiago his whole career. I've just if you go back to like FIFA 2013-14 when he was still at Barcelona, I was always loaning him, bringing him to Liverpool back then. But yeah, I have loved Thiago's career. I've watched him when he was at Barca, Bayern, a lot of it, and I was buzzing when he came to Liverpool. I really was. But as I say, he's in his final year of his contract. He's on 200 grand a week. Would he really sign a new deal for less when he could go to Saudi Arabia and take more? I think we take the money and run, basically. I don't know how much we'd be looking at for Thiago. Probably think round about, if we can get anything north of 10 for him, then I think we've done good. I know you're all going to be thinking like, whoa, more than 10, more than Thiago. We only signed him for like 20 million, guys. He's injured a lot. He's in the final year of his contract. I think if he were going anywhere else but Saudi, 10 would be the maximum you could get for him. So I think if we could get anything north of 10, then I think that's good business. And also, Thiago's departure for me coincides with Thuram. Now, on the Athletic article, they finish it off by saying, following the successful pursuit of Szoboszlai, Thuram is no longer viewed as a target, with Liverpool having decided the Hungarian international was the better option. Now, I do agree with that. I do think that they did decide to trigger the Szoboszlai over Thuram. I think they probably did go for both. The Szoboszlai deal was easier to do with the release clause. You know, we had the deadline of the whole date of when the trigger had to be made with the clause and everything. Whereas I think Nice are probably trying to get some sort of bidding war going for Thuram. However, I do think at the same time we've got to look at how many midfielders we would have if we kept Thiago and signed Thuram and signed Romeo Lavia. We'd be heavy there. We'd be very, very heavy there. And I know we have a lot of injuries, guys. I know we have a lot of injuries, but at the same time, we've got to think of the squad quota as well, going into the Europa League and the Premier League as well, to be fair. So you get rid of Thiago, who's not a homegrown player, and you can bring in Thuram, a younger player, a bit more energy about him as a replacement for Thiago. And that's how I see things working out right now. I think that Thiago's future will help decide what we do with Thuram. I think, again, just to repeat myself one more time, if Thiago leaves, I can see Thuram coming in. I do think at this moment in time, all focus is on getting number 6 in, be it Romeo Lavia, that seems to be getting a lot of the media attention lately. And I just want to put a little bit of a warning out there as well, guys. Like, don't be getting too hooked on Lavia, shall we say, in my opinion. And again, I've got nothing to go off on this. I'm just going off my intuition. Nobody mentioned anything about Szoboszlai. Everybody was talking about Thuram and Kone and all this, that and the other, yeah? So don't be surprised, guys, if we're hearing all this news now about Lavia, but if they go and sign a different number 6. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but let's just not get hooked on the opinion that Lavia is the only one we're looking at. We know that we've met Kone's entourage. We know that Liverpool are always looking at other players as well. So Lavia probably is one of the targets, but I don't believe he's the only one. So let's see what happens there, guys, in regards to the midfield. Now, touching on the defence, shall we say, because this ties into Nat Phillips, I believe that Liverpool are going to try and get the midfield ticked off, if it's not done so already, and then they move on to the defence, because we know we need like a left-sided sort of centre-back to come in. Now, we've been linked with Colwill at Chelsea, who have already rejected a £40 million bid from Brighton for him. Now, if you believe what's going round, Colwill is set on moving to Liverpool. He spoke to Klopp. Now, I don't believe that Colwill would come in and be a natural first-team starter. He's obviously only 20 years of age. I think he would be an understudy to, say, Robertson, and probably get more game time in Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup, yada, yada, yada. But I like Colwill, and he's been playing really well at the under-21 Euros. So let's see again what happens with that one. The other one as well you could mention in regards to the left-sided centre-back is, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, Sporting Lisbon. You all know I'm talking about Inacio, something like that, Inacio, I think it's called. He's got a release clause of about £39 million. He's a left-sided centre-back. He's very young as well. I think he's 21, so he may have to be registered as a player. Rather, Colwill obviously would be homegrown anyway, as would Lavia, but I think they're both obviously under the age of 21, so wouldn't need registering. But anyway, touching on the defence, we've got Nat Phillips here. He's attracting interest from Feyenoord. The Dutch champions are admirers of the combative centre-back, who is valued at around 10 million. The Athletic revealed that Leeds United are also interested in Phillips, who has a contract at Anfield till 2025. Feyenoord are yet to open negotiations, but it's an attractive option for the player given that they have Champions League football. Now, for me, 10 million for someone who's got 2 years left in his contract, I think that's Liverpool doing him a favour to make it easy for him to move on. I think he's done his due here with us. He's served us really well, hasn't moaned, hasn't complained as much as in the media as you may think. You know, when he's played, he's not really let us down. Him and Reece Williams helped get us into the Champions League that year when we had a centre-back problem. And, yeah, I'd move him on, especially that he's done what he did for us. I do think 10, though, is a little bit short. I think, I'd push 15 maybe if we can get that. Especially when we need other money to come in to buy other players. But the bit that I wanted to touch on is that there's a player at Feyenoord that I think Liverpool may look at. And I think it's called David Hanok. He's 25, Slovakian player. He's valued at 25 million euros, so that's probably about £22.5 million. Did I say that right? 25, Slovakian, yeah, he's left-footed. He can also play at left-back as well. His agency's got nothing to do with Liverpool. It says here that he's linked with Newcastle as a probability on transfer market, but every player's linked with bloody Newcastle of late. Now again, this one's a bit more of a senior player. He's 25, as I've mentioned a few times now. He's a lot older than Colwill and Incencio, whatever you call him. But I just think it might be one to watch, guys, in regards to this. I've seen someone linking with us over the past week or so, and with Phillips potentially going the other way, maybe it makes a little bit of sense there. But at the same time, would they let one of their star players go for Nat Phillips? Not too sure on that one, guys. But anyway, I'll wrap this video up there for you guys. That's been this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give this video a like. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with everything else I've got going on. And please leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think on everything that we've just covered, and I'll catch you in the next one.